So you're still probably wrapping your head around exactly what an SVG is. And that's okay. As we work through this, you'll have a better idea and a better understanding of it. We're going to start simple. So what are we making? We are literally going to make a file that says hello world. Now you might say why, and that's okay. Part of this is because it is easy. When it comes to programming, and even sometimes when it comes to markup, most coders like to start with a hello world. And it's not because it's hard, it's because it is easy. So you can look at how does this particular style of coding do something so simple. It gives you kind of an idea of how things work before you try to do anything sophisticated. Now inside of this element, we're going to nest another element, and this is going to be SVG, the SVG element. And this is where we can actually start doing SVG code. This also has to be closed. So this HTML tag up here tells the computer to start reading this as HTML. This SVG tag, however, is going to tell the computer instead that, hey, now we're going to have some SVG code and you need to read it like SVG. But that also means that eventually it's going to stop reading SVG, and so we have to tell it when to stop reading SVG. So that way it knows once it hits this that it is no longer SVG code. It's going to go back to this HTML code until it gets down to here, and it's going to then stop reading HTML. So here is our SVG code. Right now there's nothing in it. All ours is going to do is say hello world. So add a new line break. I'm going to add some spaces in here. This is inside of the SVG code, so I'm going to add another 3 spaces. You don't have to do this. You don't have to have these spaces in here, but I think it's cleaner and easier to read. So this is going to be text. So we start with the left angle bracket again. We write the word text, right angle bracket. We close this the same way we closed all the others. Left angle bracket / text, and now this is closed. Now we actually want it to say something. I can run this right now and it will run, but there's going to be nothing in it because there's nothing in it. There's nothing here. So this is where I'm going to write hello world. And you can have this say whatever you want. And you might say, well, where is it? Well, yeah, but actually it is there. The thing is, I didn't tell it where to load. So it loaded at the very top of the screen, and if you look right here, you see those little dots? Let's zoom in a bit. This is the bottom of my hello world. And, well, yeah, we can't see it right now, but it worked. It did work. We just have to figure out how to tell it where to load. So the way that it works is because we didn't tell it where to load, it loaded in the very top left of the screen, which is 0, 0. But font doesn't load starting at the top left of the font itself. It loads it from the bottom, so it puts the very bottom at the very top of the top left. So what we need to do is we need to tell it where to load, and we do that using coordinates. An x coordinate and a y coordinate. So the x coordinate will tell it how far to the right we want it to move, and the y coordinate will tell it how far down we want it to load on screen. So let's try it. So if we go back to our text, we can tell it x, and I don't think the x was really that big of a deal. It looked fine, so I'll just go with 5 for short, and I'll tell it y, and that equals, and inside of quotes, let's say maybe 20. There we go.